Hey, Aries, Leo, Sag. Welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your weekly reading for November 10th through the 17th for all fire signs, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So you'll each get your own individual reading, and you can scroll through if the first two signs don't pertain to you. So hope all is well, and thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate that. And hopefully you're having a good week and doing just fine with this Mercury retrograde, doing your meditation and raising your own vibration, because that's really the secret to getting to things that you want in your life. I've been doing a little bit more research on the whole idea of mirror neurons. So if you're not aware of those, they're basically the neurons, the things in your brain that create behaviors that you see. So you see, let's say, someone who yawns and then you yawn. That'd be like a good example of a physical example. But there's a lot of research that suggests, as we measure brain waves, which I don't think that's any secret that you can measure brain waves. I'm pretty sure we teach middle school kids that we can do that. That when you measure your brain waves, those mirror neurons are actually what pull in similarities. So when we talk about the law of attraction and we talk about managing your thinking, that's where those mirror neurons become important. So in any event, continue to manage your thinking and think thoughts that feel good to you. And if you find yourself focused on a negative thought, recognize it and say, okay, that's just a negative thought. Let me change this into something else. Let me think about something else that I want in my life. And sure enough, after a while, you will find that you'll have a steady stream of things coming in, and it's all due to those neurons. So anyway, enough on that, but here we go. So this is for Aries first, for November 10th through the 17th, 2019. All right. Aries, here we go. Okay, lots of cups here. Definitely could be a water sign that you were dealing with. Whoops, let me just get that out of the way. Could have been for sure a water sign. A lot of water here, guys. This is definitely not you. And yeah, wow, I'd say for sure, if you're dealing with a water sign, this could be your reading for sure. So in the past, you definitely had a relationship with somebody, and it could have been a marriage, or it was a very serious commitment with the Four of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. But kind of what I see is, what I think was happening is you were the more emotionally stable one in the relationship, and you were dealing with somebody that was more like a page. So you were able to express yourself, communicate, be vulnerable, be mature, but you had somebody who was not your match. And what I think may have happened was there was a split, a separation here. It could have, again, this could have been a marriage for some of you with the Four of Wands and then the Judgment card. So if you've been waiting on a decision, so if you've had a legal separation or a divorce pending, you are probably coming to a decision on that quicker than slower. With the King of Cups coming into your immediate surroundings, I see that as being possibly some kind of a mediator or communication coming in that's going to be more mature, more grounded, more stable. And I think whoever you were dealing with is this Eight of Cups, where they realized or are realizing that they have made a lot of mistakes in this thing. I also too kind of get a sense there could have been a third party with the Seven of Cups. So that could be work situation where you were in a relationship with somebody who was working too much or spreading themselves way too thin. That is what comes to mind. They just were not intentional about the relationship, intending to it. But you are for sure going to be getting communication on this with the Judgment card, and then with this Eight of Wands, there will be for sure communication. But Aries, I think you're guarded. I do not think you are going to be opening your heart to this person right now. Now, this is the energy of the card, so this is your current energy. And if you hear this and you go, well, That's not what I want in my consciousness. I think I want something else. That's when you need to raise your vibration and start doing some kind of processes, whether it's, Rhonda Byrne, the person who wrote this and developed The Secret, has a book called The Magic. That would be a good one. Even Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. That would also be a good one for this. So if that's you and you feel like I want to repair this, you are not vibrationally an equivalent right now to repairing it. So that's what's going to be coming up. You've still got some resentment that you're going to need to let go of. Now on the bottom, I think that's going to be possible with this Queen of Pentacles. You've got the Queen of Pentacles coming in as the future, which is a lot of stability. It's someone who's very nurturing and kind, understanding, very motherly. So I do think, even though I see the Four of Pentacles, you also have this. So if you are interested in working on this further, you're going to be able to do that, but you're going to have to invest some things into it. It's not going to just happen magically. The universe, that's the thing. It's not really magical because you align yourself. The universe isn't just delivering things randomly. So if you're not aligned with something, you're not a vibrational match to it. So here's your Louise Hay Life Loves You card. I nurture my inner child. Loving your inner child helps you remember your innocence and recognize how much life loves you. Ask the child within, what can I do for you today? Now, so for some of you, where you look at relationships and you see a pattern, like, why do I keep attracting this same kind of person? That's that mirroring. And there's a guy named Greg Braden who does a lot of work on this, and he's a scientist. You could look up some of his videos. There's one about, I think it's called why your spouse takes part of you with them. That's pretty interesting. So if that's you, that's what you've got coming in this week. It could be within the next month or even 2. Sometimes these things take longer than a week to develop because 7 days isn't very much time. So let's see what's going on here for Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Here you are, the Queen of Wands. You've also got the Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the Magician. Wow, I like this, Leo. Very positive. The Hierophant, 8 of Pentacles, and 2 of Cups. All right, looks like somebody's going to be having some love coming in. So in your past, you may have been single but very stable, and it may have been a long path for you to find love, where you were navigating through a bunch of dickheads and finding a lot of people, I think, that were codependent on you. I don't see it as the other way around. I think you were very independent and stable and just dealing with people who were not ready for you. But what I see is with the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Cups and the Magician, as your current energy, you're on top of the world here. You can't have a stronger line of energy representing you than this. And it's one of those things, again, where you can be, have, or do anything. That's you, especially with that Magician. I mean, this is, right, the great manifester. So with the 10 of Cups, if you've had a cycle that wasn't quite, it's a conclusion of a cycle with the 10, but if you had a cycle that just seemed like it wasn't coming to fruition, it's going to. And there's going to be speed to it, where it all of a sudden feels like things are going like boom, 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 and you are going to feel great. You're going to be very successful in this, and it's definitely looking like it's a true love kind of a situation. So you've got the Hierophant here, and this is the counterpart to the High Priestess. It's earth energy, but I do, again, there's a lot of cups here, so you could definitely be dealing with either, you've got every element here except for air. And that doesn't always mean, it's just that if there's a lot of an element or a particular sign in a reading and it resonates with you, then it probably is for you. But this is a husband, this is stability, this is commitment. You have, again, this is somebody who's going to be very stable, very hardworking, is not going to be, you're not going to have to question what they're doing. You're never going to wonder why they're on their phone or if they're doing something. It's going to be, for somebody out there, I think you're going to have a love of a lifetime. I really do. With this, then it ends in this Two of Cups here, and it's just a beautiful union, and it's that twin flame. So I was talking about mirror neurons. This kind of reminds me of it too, where you're mirroring one another. You're, half of a whole. So it's going to be very fulfilling, whatever this relationship is. Now, if it's a new relationship, this may be an indicator that you are very much on the right path, that, certainly you could have a very long, loving relationship. What can happen sometimes in relationships, right? We're a vibrational match, and we see things in each other that we're missing, things that are attractive qualities that we feel in some way complete us or make us feel whole. And as we grow together, we become whole. And sometimes what can be confusing is we have an energetic shift. We become whole and we start to not want those qualities that we felt were missing in us. And when I say feel, I don't mean that from a cognitive standpoint. I mean that from a vibrational standpoint. We feel these are missing. We attract them. We become whole. And then what can happen is it becomes a choice. Do I stay with this person because now I feel whole and I don't feel like I need this anymore? But what can happen if you leave a situation like that is it becomes a bit of a chess match for you, where you're moving around and trying to continue to find that feeling again of completion. So watch out for that, because you can have this and walk away from it. I've definitely seen people do that, and I've seen people recognize when it's too late it was the biggest mistake of their lives. So, oh boy, this is good. I commit to being more present in my life. If something seems to be missing in your life, maybe what's missing is you. Complete this sentence. One way I can be more present in my life is... Interesting. Wow, that couldn't have been a better card for this reading. And I have no way of, controlling this or planning it out. That's pretty crazy. Loving it. All right, guys. So how about Sagittarius here? All right, could have been in a situation where you had a lot of pain, Sagittarius, with the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, and then you had the Ace of Wands here. Current energy, Ace of Cups, Two of Wands, Six of Pentacles here. Knight of Wands coming in. Knight of Swords, uh-oh, interesting. And the Four of Cups. All right, so what I think happened here with you, Sagittarius, you had something that was very confusing, very painful, and you eventually got to the point where it just burned you out and you had to walk away from it. It was kind of like one of these relationships where you're always second guessing because the person probably wasn't trustworthy. And there may have been a lot of passion in the relationship, a lot of sexual chemistry, even a great sex life, and that may have kept you, honestly, I've seen people stay around when I start to see this. We always say this is so phallic. I start to see this, and with that combination, even like, getting an STD off of someone and feeling the relationship isn't good, but feeling compelled to stay in it. I knew somebody that got married because of that, and the guy ended up cheating on them. So they knew it wasn't good, but they felt trapped because of that fact. And, just know that you can work through that. Don't ever be in a marriage because you feel like you're not good enough, or, somehow you're now stuck in a situation. Don't do that to yourself. So then the current energy coming in is a nice, very nice energy. You've got a big offer coming from somebody that sees your value, sees your worth, sees you as, could be the love of their life, sees everything about you that the other person didn't see, and sees the future with you for sure. Again, this is somebody who, is looking out and can see and contemplate a future. The other thing is it's going to be very balanced. Whoever this is with, you had an imbalance before, and I got this too, I think it was earlier for Aries, where it's like you knew you had a lot more together than this person. And again, it almost felt like you were settling. And what I think happened for somebody out there is the person walked away and it was like, what the hell? I just brought myself down to your level and now you're leaving me. This next situation is not like that, where there's any uncertainty or doubt or hesitation. It's definitely balanced and equal and sound. But what I do see, with this Knight of Wands is a lot of passion. With both of these knights, it's like a lot of quick communication, a lot of quick action and energy here. It could be, let me see this a minute. It could be a younger person, but I don't get that. I almost think it's just somebody who's really knows what they want and they're not afraid to go after it. So it could be one of those types where all of a sudden you're being whisked away on, a weekend getaway out of nowhere. It just comes really quickly. The only thing that you have to be careful with these is it can stop as quickly as it starts. So you may have somebody who just tells you, you're the only person in the world, and it feels like when you're with them, you are that way, and then all of a sudden it just disappears and all that energy is gone. So that would be the only cautionary tale in this, is to watch out for those knights, because they can be a lot of fun when they show up, but it doesn't last. And then with this Four of Cups, I actually think you're going to be on to that. If some of you have somebody who's kind of fickle, I don't think you're going to take it seriously at all. If for those of you that this is for, where it's going to be like, yeah, I've seen this game before, I've seen this show before, I'm really not that interested in it. Because it's almost kind of like that's how it is. Like, this is just a really disinterested person. Like, yeah, whatever. Really keep it moving. So for you guys, life wants me to be happy. And so you don't have to settle for anything. Happiness is your natural state. Life wants you to be happy. What is life teaching you about true happiness right now? So ask yourself that question. What is life teaching me about true happiness? And, if you can be happy without another person and just love your own company, when you have another person, you'll enjoy it that much more. So if you're single, don't worry about it. There's somebody out there for everyone. In fact, there's billions of people in the world. So keep learning about yourself and getting to know yourself and reveling in your own value and what you have to offer. And before you know it, you'll have, there they'll be, right? You'll go, God, where were you? Oh, there you are. And the next thing you know, you're doing one of these. So thank you to everyone for subscribing. Like I said before, I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you tuned in today. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I love you, and I'll see you again soon.